Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We're your hosts. We're glad you're spending your Sunday morning with us. Whether you're in the car or on the couch, you're always at home with Roby. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's andrewroby.com, where you can always call us at 704-334-5477. Trent, a great conversation earlier about that honey-do list. You got to get things done by the holidays, by Christmas. We're now joined by David McGuire, Chief Operating Officer at the Andrew Roby Company. And David, it's great to have you here, first of all, but a lot of people think about Andrew Roby, big projects. We can do anything from building a house to renovating a house. We can also help them with these little things around the house to really make sure they maintain their home properly.
Yeah, we do. We have handyman services called Roby Handyman Services, and it's anything from very small hourly projects to just small projects around your house, so we do that too.
Yeah, we just had David Dovell on the show to welcome David McGuire, and David was talking about what kids coming up and teaching them our industry and the value of our industry. So Dave McGuire, what have you done to give back lately, man? Come on.
What have I done?
On the spot.
It's a bait and switch. We're not doing honeydew.
Yeah.
I want to know about some charity.
Well, obviously we have a tremendous amount of effort that we put and we give through Roby, Andrew Roby, our Roby family companies with children, whether that's the Make-A-Wish with our 8th annual cornhole tournament that we raise, that we've done in Charlotte and Raleigh, and raising over $1 million for Make-A-Wish. We've done that. Youth baseball programs from Dilworth to Myers Park, Trinity to South Park to just a couple others. We do that too. I mean, personally, I'm involved with my church. I've got lots of stuff I could keep going, but the moral of the story is that we do believe in giving back to the community.
It's that time of year for sure.
Yeah.
No, I was being funny and serious at the same time. But Dave and I go way back. Dave went to Harding University High with me. We met. He I think I've said this on radio before. He came from the rich side of town. I come from the west side. He slid tackled me at soccer tryouts. He's about 6'8". I was about 5'2".
I think he likes that story, Dave.
And skinned me up. And ever since then, we become best friends in high school. We played basketball, soccer together. And then we both went to UNC Chapel Hill. We were freshman roommates. And then when we graduated from UNC Chapel Hill and I bought the house next to my parents, Dave was my house roommate for a year or two. So and he went a different direction, worked in our industry, but in a different direction for about 8 years. And in 2008, he came home, I like to say.
Came home.
I'm very fond of Dave's family, and his dad always gave me a hard time when I was a young whippersnapper. And Dave drove the dump truck for us, too, in high school and college during the summer. And he was really close to my dad and my granddad even. You knew my granddad really well.
Big G.
Thank you, Dave. You mean a lot to me. I'm about to cry again.
Oh, my gosh. Another crying story. We talked about that 2 shows ago.
We could talk about Big G stories. The one thing about Big G is he made sure you knew where he stood. There's no question about that.
The Big G is Glenn Haston. That's my dad's father. My granddad, he passed away in 2005. He is the guy that was Mr. Roby's first employee. Granddaddy, when he stood straight, I think, before he hunched over later in his years, was about 6'5", big old man, big old hands, and buddy, he talked with some force, and everybody respected Granddad. I tell a story. We were working on Hopedale Avenue, putting a drain around the house, and I thought I was the hardest worker. I was a hard worker, and we've been digging all day, and I had 2 of my friends were working with me as laborers, and I had loosened up this dirt with the sharpshooter for about 10 minutes, and I was leaning on my sharpshooter. They were scooping the hole out, and that red truck rolled out. And he got out and chewed me up and down. I went crying to my dad, and he told me to bone up, boy. Bone up. So, Dave, let's get on topic.
Yeah.
What do you see? We asked David Dovell. He said painting floors and then sold some decking material to people, which is good. What do you see as trends people need to look out for? What are we seeing a lot of this holiday season to prepare for Christmas and family?
Well, I would agree with David. I mean, definitely paint. freshening up. But we also do stuff, and we'll pair with our sister business, Roby Electric, and sometimes we can do this in house. We'll hang Christmas lights. We can help with putting wreaths and decorations around the house. It could just be simple as needing someone to help you. You're capable of doing it, but you don't have the time. So we're in our clients' houses all the time, helping with those decorations. And it could be just cleaning up. Anything that's going to require time. That's tough with how everyone's schedule's busy. But no question, flooring and paint and just kind of cleaning up your front doorstep.
I mean, we have 3 dump truck fleet. And all of our repeat clients will call us and say, hey, can you swing by? Can Bobby swing by with the dump truck and y'all get these boxes? I put all these toys together, stuff like that. Hey, it costs a little money, but it means the world and saves you a lot of time.
Well, and it's also that level of service that you give your customers. And, folks, if you're just tuning in or just listening in, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show, you can go to andrewroby.com, find out more about what we're talking about, or call us at 704-334-5477. David, and Trent, you just mentioned this. It's a lot of times it's these little things you don't really have time for. Maybe you put them off. Maybe you got to get them done. Something like painting. People, they can't quite visualize how long that's going to take. But if you need to just freshen up a room, do some touch-up, we can be in and out of there very quickly. We can knock that out for you before your aunt and uncle and your grandmother show up on Thursday, right?
Yeah, by the time it takes you to go to the store and get all the equipment and all the paint and supplies and lay out your plastic, we could have been in and out of there by the time you got back from the store. So it's one of those things that we're set up to do it, and our partners are. So I think that's Trent's opportunity cost talk.
Absolutely. I tell you, I learned that the hard way. My wife wanted some new shelving in the closets in our playroom, and so we contracted somebody to come in and put the shelving in. But I said, I'll rip the old shelving out, I'll repaint it, I'll caulk it, I'll do the whole thing. 3 days later, in a visit to the chiropractor for my neck, I was like, well, that was a pretty bad idea on my part. It looks good, but I could have done a little better in having somebody come in and
Ashley,
do it.
I've never been to the chiropractor. We'll just leave it.
But
at
you
that.
cry a lot, see?
Well, I'm an emotional basket case. But let me give you a plug here. Something that I like to do, and we've done this for our repeat clients, and we have some special clients that call on us every year for this, is take them firewood. That's something we'll get. I like it. And if you're a client or you're not a client, I mean, this is like special delivery from our prima donna project managers. You know what I'm saying? Ho, 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 Roby truck coming to your house. But I'll tell you, the plug is not for us delivering the firewood. The deal is my Boy Scouts at church, I go to Still Creek Presbyterian Church, they sell firewood.
Yep.
So when a client calls us and says, hey, or one of our guys talks it up, I mean, for like $125, we'll deliver you a full truckload of firewood, and the money goes to my scouts, and we just do that to help our clients. Good oak wood that gets heat, burns well. That hardwood my dad always talked about burning in the fireplace.
Yeah, that's the type of Roby service,
And then Dave gets splinters.
Yeah.
And cries.
And then buy him some gloves, man. Yeah. Why don't you buy him some gloves?
You don't use gloves. That's the deal. Everybody always wants to know why I don't use gloves. We would go on my mission trip and the digging, and I think now all my friends take like 2 or 3 extra pairs of gloves to give me, and I'm like, nah, I don't need it. About the 3rd day, I'm wearing their gloves.
Of course you are.
So
messes up your golf game too, man. If you don't,
I need some help with that.
Yeah. Tommy 2 gloves.
Tommy 2 glove. Well, Dave, you think you'll stick around for another segment with us?
I'd be honored to.
So before we go to the break, how can people get in touch with us? I know I said the number a couple times. Is that the best way? Is it website, phone number?
You can check our website out, but you always call us 704-334-5477. But we do have a web form you can send questions to, or we can handle it that way as well. But don't ever hesitate to call us.
We're old school. We like phone calls. It's so funny. I told my wife about 4 years ago, I said, I don't think I'll ever text.
Oh my God.
I said, it's so impersonal, it's ridiculous. And now I text often. So you gotta adapt and change and learn the new ways
especially
of the
in
world.
this industry, as focused as the Roby family of companies is on our clients, you got to give them multiple ways to get in touch with you, right,
Right.
Dave? You
Sure
want to
you
make
do.
sure you're in constant contact, so whenever they need something big or small, the Andrew Roby family of companies, Andrew Roby, we're always there for them.
Yeah, times change, and you have to adapt.
Well,
but
it's a good backup form of communication,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
Dotting
yeah,
I's and
yeah,
crossing
yeah,
T's.
absolutely.
I don't think it replaces a personal conversation, but I think doing a follow-up text or email
Right, yep.
just for details is always good. And
Absolutely.
that's like how I like to use it.
All right, we're going to text each other in the break. You hang with us, Dave? Yeah. All right, cool. You're listening to the At Home with Roby show. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's andrewroby.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.